being social is hard, and not in a I hate everyone type of way, but a why is this so hard for me when it's easy for everybody else type of way. Because a lot of us just want to have friends. A lot of us want to have a good connection. We want to be able to be comfortable around people, but a lot of the time it just feels very off for us. And before I dive into how to be better at being social, what I want to first do is identify why being social is so hard and also clear up a misunderstanding about being social. And that misunderstanding is that being social is not the only thing everybody does. Not everyone is social. I think anyone can realize that. But there is two other things that you may fall under when it comes to, being social. Again, either A, you're social, B, you're good at conversation, or C, you're antisocial. And you fall into one of those three categories, in my opinion. First of all, you have being social. This person is going to be genuinely more energetic, charismatic, confident, and usually this person is the funny person. They're going to be able to crack jokes at really good times. Again, this person is going to want to talk to you. They're going to want to talk to everyone. And 9 times out of 10, they can get a conversation going with anyone and keep it going because they genuinely enjoy being around people. That's what someone who's social is. But then you have someone who's good at conversation. What does that mean exactly? Well, this person is going to be able to read a room. They're going to be able to pick up on social cues. They can get a conversation going and keep it going, but they may not even want to be there. They're not craving that, talking with us. They're not craving any of it. They're just there. And then you have being antisocial. These people, it's not really being shy or awkward, but it's people who genuinely want a connection, but they don't really know how to do that. They don't know really how to push that out. They can just really want it, and that's about it. And one of those three categories is something that everyone will fall into. And now that that's cleared up, let me go ahead and get into why being social is so hard, because it's generally something we have to realize first before I tell you what to do to become being better at social. Now, the first thing is the fear of rejection. Rejection is probably the biggest reason as to why a lot of people don't want to talk to you. And it's not just oh, you're weird type of way or you look unapproachable. That can definitely be a factor, but a lot of us just don't want to look stupid or say something stupid. I know I feel that way a lot, especially when it comes to talking to a girl. For a lot of us guys, we don't want to look like an idiot. We don't want to seem creepy or do something stupid. Some of us have an easier time getting into a flow with a girl or just anyone. I say a girl specifically because being around a pretty girl for most guys makes our whole brain shift when it comes to our social ability. Maybe we know how to talk to people, but when it comes to someone we like or want to get to know, it's a completely different ball game where you instantly start stuttering and messing up our words. Maybe it's the same thing for you ladies out there where you just instantly start messing up how you would normally talk. That kind of can be how people are in general around anyone, is that you just don't know what you're going to say, if it's going to be right. And that's the biggest reason as to why people genuinely don't want to be social, is they fear being rejected, being awkward, or doing this. That is one of the biggest reasons. But the other biggest reason is we feel like we have to perform. We feel like we have to do everything and say everything right, which is not true, mind you, but that's what a lot of us think, is that we have to do everything correctly or we're just going to mess it up. But again, you don't have to get everything right. That is just something that is told, and usually a lot of us have the wrong idea about. And lastly, the most difficult thing I would say when it comes to being social is our past experiences. Past experiences, whether good or not, are going to influence our next conversation. Not just in a specific person, but literally anything your past experiences will influence. But specifically being social to anyone will help. You'll remember if you messed up talking to someone, if you did something stupid, if you got a picture taken of you that was embarrassing because you did something. Again, all of that will stick with you, and it's something that we have to, overcome. Now, the first thing is, what does being social look like? Because that is something, again, some people may have a warped idea about. Now, let me go ahead and tell you, being social does not mean you are talking the most. Because, again, a lot of people don't know this, silence doesn't mean you failed. Awkward moments happen to everyone, even confident people. Being social is about connection, not entertainment. And honestly, most people are thinking about themselves and not judging you. That is something a lot of people don't know. So, what steps do you take when it comes to being better at being social? And the first one I would say is to lower the bar. Because wherever you're at when it comes to your social ability, you need to lower the bar you're at. If you are already a social person, then good job. Maybe you only have a few steps to take, but again, the bar for anyone, maybe you're up here, maybe you're here, maybe you're here. You need to lower it. What I mean by lower is like, don't put so much pressure on yourself when it comes to talking to someone. If you're talking to someone, don't feel like you have to be like performing out the wazoo, saying jokes, doing this, doing that. Just lower the bar. Calm out a little bit, chill out a little bit, and just realize that it's going to be all right at the end of the day, regardless of if you mess up or not. Just lower the bar, because you don't need to impress anyone. Aim for being present, not perfect. That is something that you need to remember when it comes to this. And the second thing I would say is to practice your presence, not performance. You don't have to plan every single word you're gonna say. You just need to really focus on what people are actually saying. Focus on, a conversation, maybe between one person. If you can talk to multiple people, focus on what they're saying, because curiosity will beat cleverness every single time. If you genuinely want to know something about a person and you're not just asking a question to ask it, people can pick up on that. And it's honestly gonna make something 100 times better, because they're gonna know you're genuinely curious and you're not just like, oh, okay, what else did you do? You genuinely will come off as more approachable. People will definitely be able to tell. It's something that is hard to know, because you won't be able to realize that just with yourself. Other people will, but it's kind of hard to do that, And then we get into the next thing, and that is to start small. Short conversations count a lot more than you think. A comment, a reaction, a question, all of those are wins, because again, you don't know this, but a small impression on someone can make a big impact on them. Here's how it may work. Maybe someone is having a really rough go of a day. Maybe you're in college, maybe you're at school, wherever you may be. Someone's having a bad day, right? And you notice that. Maybe you observe that, and you're like, what can I do for this person, right? Now, I'm not saying you're thinking like how do I help everyone? But it's just usually when you see someone down, you want to go out and help them. So you're like, hey man, I think your shoes are really nice. And maybe he's just like, oh, thank you. It's like, how's your day going? You just want to start, trying to talk to them, get them to come out a little bit of their shell, because it's gonna, again, just having someone come up to you, compliment you, and talk to you is really nice, I will say. For me specifically, when someone will compliment what I'm wearing, or just if I'm having a bad day, it makes me feel much better than I did. And a lot of those conversations are going to help a lot of people. You may not get any credit. Don't feel like you need it, because you don't. Just know that you did something good. You were able to talk. You were able to push yourself and help another person in the process. That's why starting small is important. And the next part is get comfortable with discomfort. Awkwardness is a part of growth. It feels uncomfortable, then you're probably doing something right, because you're not just doing what your brain wants you to. You're not doing the, oh, yeah, I know how to do that. You're pushing yourself. You're going in somewhere you typically don't do. And it genuinely will usually train your brain on how to think, more flexibility, it makes your brain think better in flexibility, because again, a lot of us just want to do the easy answer. We want to do the, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. We don't want to give more of a complex scenario for our brain to deal with, because it's not comfortable for us. So that's why being, a little uncomfortable can be good. The next is to build reps. And you're like, what do you mean, work out? No. Social skills are like muscle memory. The more you practice, the less scary it becomes. The more experience you have, everything will be there at your disposal. You'll know how to deal with stuff. You will have dealt with it before. All of it becomes something you know how to do from that point. Again, it's something that you just got to practice. You got to start pushing yourself, doing things that you may not want to do. But at the end of the day, again, realize you don't have to be up here. You can be where you want. You can make a conversation. It can be short. It can be quick. Just know that you're pushing yourself out of your shell every time, building experience in the process. And then the last tip I would say is to find your people. you don't need to connect with everybody that exists. Being social is not about quantity. It's about the fit, really. Because again, if you can be social, really social with one person, that's better than just knowing a bunch of people. You added a bunch of people on Snapchat and you never talked to them. Wow, cool. Well, I know 3 people really well and I can have a great conversation with them. I'd prefer that any day of the week. And that's something I would recommend all of you out there to do. Try to find somebody, maybe a group of people, maybe one person that you can just have a great conversation with. It can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be, someone you're in a relationship with. Have someone there that you can genuinely open up with and just have a good time with, feel great around, because that is genuinely what being social is all about. And to close here, I just want to say that if what I've said has helped you in any sort of way and you genuinely feel better than you did, let me know down in the comment section below. And if you have any other ideas or anything you want me to talk about, please let me know, because I do plan on making more videos like this if you want to see them, of course. If not, then I will know what to do. But hopefully this video has helped you, and now you realize what being social is hard, but also what you can do to make it less hard. Just want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay awesome, God bless, and peace.